This is Living Power with Dan Hurst.
Some news stories, as we're doing every Sunday, we're talking about some of the news stories that have happened over the last week. And I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time dwelling on these, but I want you to see what's going on right now. In Reuters earlier this week, come on, stay with me, folks. We need to get going. On Reuters, Kerry, Senator John Kerry, or State, well, he is Senator, but Secretary of State John Kerry said, their patience is wearing thin on Syria's Assad. Now, he said that on Tuesday he had discussed Syria's use of chemical weapons with Russia. Kerry said he was confident Assad's government was responsible for a preponderance of chemical attacks against his own people, and that everyone's patience is wearing thin with respect to the extraordinary depravity of the weaponry and mechanisms for delivery which Assad has used against his own people. Now, if you'll recall, Syria was the country that we said, look, if we find out that you have chemical weapons, that's a red line, and that you cross that red line, and then it's all over with as far as we're concerned, and then we didn't do anything about it. The reason that story bothers me is because this next story, look at this next story, this is on the very same day, in the same, I'm presuming in the same, I don't know if it was a speech or if it was just a media gathering or whatever it was. Secretary of State John Kerry signaled for the first time on Tuesday that the U.S. was prepared to ease economic sanctions on Iran without fully resolving evidence suggesting that Iran scientists have been involved in secret work on nuclear weapons. We're not fixated on Iran specifically accounting for what they did at one point in time or another. Now, the reason I have a problem with that is because what that signals to our enemies is that we're weak, that we've gone soft. And so we have to be very, very careful when you say things like that in public. It's like, what are you doing? But it does say that, does it not? And so at the same time, I find it just amazing that we'll let that slide over in Syria, and we'll let maybe just ease up a little bit over here on Iran. But you people in Israel, you better stop building those extra houses. You got to stop that, or we're going to take action. And I'm thinking to myself, they don't believe that for anything in the world. If you won't do anything with Iran, and you won't do anything with Syria other than negotiate, probably not going to do anything to Israel for building houses, for the people to live in. I hope anyway. Another news story, IDF sees growing support for Islamic State in Gaza. The IDF Chief of Staff told the Knesset Foreign Affairs and Defense Committee on Tuesday that support for the Islamic State in Gaza is growing stronger. It's estimated to be about 14%. He added that organizations affiliated with IS, have also been growing stronger in Sinai and are operating in cooperation with the terrorist organizations in Gaza. So there is this, ISIS now is starting to surround Israel. It's just coming in, all completely surrounding Israel, which is kind of what we expected was going to happen. In another story, Hamas smuggling cement into Gaza through Egypt. Egypt opened the Rafah border crossing between Gaza and on Saturday, and the Palestinian sources reported that some 4,000 tons a day of cement has passed through unsupervised. Hamas is reconstructing its tunnels by taking over the cement that comes in from Israel for reconstruction of homes. So all of those tons and tons and tons of cement that are to be used for reconstructing homes are actually going to build tunnels to attack Israel. And then one final news story, billions of dollars of gold discovered under Mount Elet Mountains to be used to rebuild Third Jewish Temple. A treasure trove of raw gold, that was just announced this week, by the way. A treasure trove of raw gold worth billions of dollars is believed to be sitting under Mount Elet in southern Israel. In an exclusive interview, Rabbi Yehuda Glick, the executive director of the Temple Mount Heritage Foundation in Jerusalem, revealed the news, which had been kept under wraps for the last several years. He told Breaking Israel News that there are billions of dollars worth of gold in Mount Elet, which he and his partner have received an exclusive license to unearth by the Israeli government. Their company, and they formed a company to excavate, it's called Gold Deposit Limited, now has a 2-year exclusive permit from January 15th to December 16th to excavate the chosen area and find the gold. When asked what these modern-day biblical explorers plan to do with their billions of gold, Rabbi Glick replied, ultimately we expect to use the gold to rebuild the third temple. Whether we use the gold itself for creating vessels and decoration or by selling the findings and using the money to buy the materials and manpower needed to rebuild the temple, we look forward to that great day. Yeah. So finances are, look, and the interesting thing is, by the way, the way they found this, they found the gold by looking in the Bible in Genesis and found out that it says on this mountain there is gold and obsidian. And they went, maybe we should go check that out. And sure enough, they found it. So what do you know? The Bible's true. So, so I think that's amazing.
On behalf of Dan Hurst and the Open Class, we want to thank you for watching. We hope it was a blessing.